Salute, Woatisa, Emi Lo Latimo Mohoye, the day of Lafia, divine risings and rotations. Beloved Army, beloved Army. Ujima, collective works and responsibilities. Life is filled with great burdens, heavy weights. Both, as I explained in some of my messages this rising, both weights, as in the ones that you lift up and you put down, as well as weights, the ones you stand in line for. You either wait patiently or impatiently to see if you make it there. Recently, I was in a wait for a pair of shoes. And I did all the things that I could do to accomplish what I was in a wait for. But I didn't get the shoes. Not because of the finances, not because I didn't do anything, not because I wasn't prompt, because I didn't get the shoes. There was a glitch in the system and a lot of people didn't get the shoes. But this is not about shoes. This is about weights, both the ones you pick up and you put down, as well as the ones you wait patiently or impatiently in line for. And ultimately, it's about, sometimes we have an idea in our mind. The universe, the order of the way this life works, or the order of the way that we positioned ourselves in our past life to come forth in this life and reap the reciprocities of. See, that's what we seem to forget. We seem to forget that everything that we go through in this life, but then we don't forget because we've been taught since coming, we've been brainwashed, we've been indoctrinated, bogged down since coming into this realm again, to ignore the concepts or the overstandings of reincarnation. And so we live with this fiction as if you only have lived one life and you only will live one life, and then you'll reap either some heaven or some hell after that life. Well, that makes even the heaven and that hell weak. That makes life weak. Because your heaven and your hell is what you create for yourself. Your heaven and your hell is what you create for the collective. You can't isolate yourself and isolate your circumstances and then generalize yourself and then generalize your circumstances and think that the results are going to be major or going to be paradise or going to be even brimfire, if that matters. No, you are a ripple effect. And it affects many lifetimes. And if you affect that lifetime in a negative, you have to come back to fix the negative. And remember, a ripple effect doesn't pause for you. It continues its vibrations outward. And it extends itself until it can no longer extend itself. So even when you stop making a fuss, even when you stop hitting the water with the rock, the frequency continues to spread, and you have to fix the frequency. You have to fix whatever it is that you've corrupted. And so life becomes excessively hard when we don't remember what it is we corrupted. When we don't remember what it is we did last. When you keep going through those scenarios like on a merry-go-round over and over and over and over again, seeing the same faces, seeing the same people, the same situations, the same out. When you keep seeing that same thing, this is the reminder of what it was you did. And until you have endured what you have made others endure in past lifetimes and rise from that to correct that, you'll continue to go through it, but it will be harder and harder and harder, like scar tissue being scarred over and over and over again. And even if you want this to be in the most simplistic form of this world that we have here, Whatever you have done in your past, whatever you have said in your past, even your very thoughts, but that might be too deep for some. So we're just going to talk about the conversations that eventually rise back to the surface. We're going to talk about the activities that eventually rise back to the surface. You'll eventually have to make recompense for that. And the interesting thing about life is a lot of things don't come back to us until we are not in the position any longer to be prepared for it. Because remember what it was that we did, people weren't prepared for that. And we left people without a defense. And so we come back to endure the things that we left people without. Many people will come into your life and leave your life. As you will come into people's lives and leave their lives. Many people that come into your life and leave your life, they will please you and they will hurt you. As you have come into people's lives and you have pleased them and you have hurt them. This is part of the processes of life. And this is part of the experience of life, and to learn that lesson, to understand the importance of effects, cause and effects. And so understand that, and understand that the people that still are your reciprocity for what you've done to others in the negative, soon someone will be their reciprocity for what they're doing to you. But you've learned your lesson, hopefully, and you've built the capability, the endurance to move forward. And some of us, we can't do that. Some of us, we get stuck. Some of us, we get stuck in the pain and we start reacting based upon the pain and the hurt. We start dealing with life based upon the pain and the hurt. That's going to have a reciprocity too. And that reciprocity may become something between relationships with people that you truly love. And because you have allowed yourself to become bitter, it's destroying relationships that you don't want to destroy. Because bitter shows up as its own spirit. And understand that when you live bitter, the people that have made you bitter, many of them are unconscious of your bitterness and they move forward with their lives. It does not mean that they are not suffering something, but they're not thinking about you or your bitterness. People that have hurt you, in most cases, they have moved forward because many of them were unaware of the hurt. They were incapable of seeing and understanding, regardless of what we think, the hurt that they were causing. If you're thinking about self and you're selfish, you cannot be considerate of other people's hurt. And so understanding forgiveness is a movement forward, not for nobody else. Forgiveness heals you. It doesn't heal anybody else. Matter of fact, your forgiveness, when people know they have done something that caused you hurt and pain, once that has been made clear to them, your forgiveness, when it's a situation, when they look at it and they say, I would have never forget. When your forgiveness shows your power, it shows your discipline. But understand, forgiveness does not mean re-embrace. That's the key to it all. Forgiveness does not mean re-embrace. A man told me one time when I was in prison, and I was contemplating on revenge for everybody that was betraying me and leaving me. I was young. He said, the greatest revenge, little brother, is success. He said, you could get out and you could hurt people physically, you could hurt people mentally, but let me tell you, they'll either die and won't feel any more of that, or they'll just go on about their lives, but you'll be wasting energy. The greatest success, the greatest revenge is success, and allow them to watch your success from afar. Because you're going to excel, and I'm talking to y'all now, you're going to excel way farther than the people that hurt you. Understand that. I love you. Stay focused, stay positive, stay around focused and positive people. Never lose who you are once you know who you are. Never sacrifice who you are for nothing and nobody. Just wake up, get out of the bed, and stay out of the bed and assist others in rising from that slumber. Alafia farano wo moni fe la ni de wope aka si makayeri onyon kopon naka kayeri en frama. Umuntu inga bantu lai ni waju korisa. Yete nu. Ya soto weto frako majibu. Nakupenda usifiwe. Nakupenda usifiwe. Nakupenda usifiwe. Salute. Peace and motivation. Wholeness and motivation. Have an illuminating day. I love y'all. Immortal.